I'm recording.
All right, so who am I looking at? You?
Me, I'm gonna be sitting right here.
Okay. The best part about being a teacher is interacting with my students and just learning from my students, being with my students, and being able to engage, teaching literature, seeing my students have that aha moment when they connect a piece of literature with their own lives. And for me, that's why I became an English teacher. I'm a lover of novels, I'm a lover of reading, and when I see my students read something and have that same feeling and connect it with their own lives, I think that's the best part, when they take something away and it's meaningful to them. That would be my biggest takeaway from being a teacher, for sure. A challenge of being a teacher would be meeting the levels and the needs of all of my students. Sometimes, especially being an English teacher, you know, I have students who come in here and they don't love reading and they don't love English, and seeing a novel is pretty daunting, and they're like, oh, we have to read this, or this is such a big novel, or there's so many pages, and it's a challenge to try to get my students to, you know, become engaged in it and to want to read it. But I think the fun part of teaching is to show that stories come alive and stories can be fun. And so when I connect the novels to my students and they get that moment and they have that aha moment and they really can take something away from it, it becomes less of a challenge. But to get to that point, that's the challenge, to make sure all of my students do see that reading can be fun, that English can be fun. So my one thing to accomplish as a teacher would be to make sure that my students feel safe and comfortable in my classroom, to enjoy the content that I'm teaching, to feel connected to what they're learning in here, and to just, you know, leave class every day and have learned something, be able to take something away from here, rather than just that feeling of, oh God, I don't want to go back to English class, or that was the worst class I've ever had. That would be a terrible feeling as a teacher. I don't want to be that teacher. I want them to look forward to coming back to class the next day to continue reading whatever it is we're reading. That's something I enjoy doing, and I hope that, you know, my passion for reading and for teaching kind of carries over to what my students are doing. On my days off, I enjoy spending time with my family. I have 2 young children. I enjoy being with them, with my husband. I love to read. I enjoy spending time outdoors, being in nature. I enjoy, you know, swimming in the summer. We have a pool. Traveling, doing like day trips with my family. Just kind of, I'm like a family person. I'm kind of a homebody. We don't, you know, stray very far, but that's it. Sometimes I paint or do art type things if I have time, which is not very often anymore with 2 young kids. Oh, fun fact about me that people would be surprised about. Well, I think my students do know this, but I've been a vegetarian for over 25 years. So, I mean, that is a pretty interesting fact about me. My husband and I own a restaurant called Leo's. Yes, and it's named after my son Leo, who is 7 years old. So that's a fun fact. And it's right here by the school. So that's another fun fact. My biggest pet peeve that I am guilty of would be people who are late. It drives me nuts when people are late, but I am late for almost everything. I get very annoyed when people are late for something that I'm expecting them to be on time for, but I am such a procrastinator and I wait to the last minute for everything, especially arriving somewhere. Like, I just lose track of time and then I am always late. So yeah, I'm guilty of it. So I can't judge.
All right.
Okay.
Yep, thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
There you go. Clap one more time.